Alright, so ituloy na natin yung part 2 ng discussion natin about current liabilities, okay, in general. So, doon sa first video, we identify the accounting standards, the scope, and the important definition of terms. Okay, ngayon, we will be discussing the recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure. Okay, so simulan na natin. Recognition. Kailan ba dapat i-recognize ang liabilities? O sa madaling salita, kailan ba dapat mapa-record or umapir sa financial statements itong liabilities? Okay, sabi dito, an item is recognized as liability, okay, when, number one, it meets the definition of a liability. So sinabi natin kanina, ano-ano yung mga important characteristics? Present obligation as a result of past events, and then outflow of economic resources, di ba, yung settlement. So yun yung definition. Number two, ito yung lagi ko sinasabi, probable. Okay, that an outflow of resources embodying economic benefits will result from its settlement. Ibig sabihin ng probable, more than 50% na mangyayari na meron talagang outflow of resources. Pag sinabi nating outflow of resources, either may lalabas na pera dyan dahil isa-settle mo, or other than cash or services, etc., etc. Okay? And then, the settlement of the amount can be measured reliably. At pag sinabi mong measured reliably, reliable measure, may basis. And normally, anong nagiging basis natin, di ba? Market value, di ba? Yung kung magkano siya sa market o magkano ang kalakaran, that would be the reliable basis of the measurement. Okay? So yun yung pag-recognize or yun yung time na i-recognize na natin ang liabilities. Ngayon, let's go to classification and measurement. Ayan. The classification of financial liabilities ang pag-uusapan natin dito. By the way, under PFRS 9, kung ano ang classification ng financial instrument, yun din ang kanyang magiging measurement. Ulitin ko ha, kasi nakakabit na sa pangalan ng classification yung magiging measurement niya. Kaya kung mapapansin mo dito, tingnan natin, di ba? Financial liabilities at fair value through profit or loss. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Di ba? I-measure mo daw siya at fair value. Anong ibig sabihin ng fair value? Value niya sa market, di ba? Yung kung saan nagka-willing ang buyer at seller na magkaroon ng fair amount of transaction. That's fair value. Okay? So yun daw change ng fair value from the beginning of the accounting period to the end of the accounting period. Yung change daw niya saan mag-a-appear? Profit or loss o sa income statement. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya financial liabilities at fair value through profit or loss. Okay? And then dalawa pa yan. Yung designated financial liabilities at fair value through profit or loss or held for trading. Okay. Yung isa naman, in-identify mo siya as financial liabilities at amortized cost. Therefore, pag nakita mo ganito, anong measurement niya? Amortized cost. Ito naman isa, pag nakita mo, anong measurement niya? Fair value. Ayan. And then meron pa tayong dalawang classification. Financial liabilities that arise when the transfer of FA does not qualify for the recognition or when the continuing involvement approach applies, and then financial guarantee contracts and commitments. So these are the classification of financial liabilities. Ulitin ko, kung anong classification, yun na rin ang measurement niya. Kaya hindi ka pwedeng magkamali ng classification ng financial liabilities and even financial assets or the financial instruments. Okay, so tingnan natin. How do we measure financial liabilities? By the way, yung liabilities itself, ang ideal measurement talaga sa kanya, ideal ha, okay, present value. Yan. Pero dahil nga merong mga liabilities na for short term lang, 1 year or less, okay, pag kinumpute mo yung present value niya, at saka yung face value amount niya talaga, kung magkano talaga siya, napakaliit ng difference. Very immaterial yung diferensya. That is why yung mga short-term liabilities, mine-measure na lang siya at face amount. Pag sinabing face amount, kung magkano talaga yung utang. Okay. In general ha, yun yung sa liabilities. Ngayon, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, financial liab. Okay, kasi na-identify natin doon sa part 1, may financial liab, may non-financial liab. Okay. Paano pag financial liabilities? Siyempre, meron tayong initial measurement. How do you measure initially? Okay, fair value minus transaction cost. Kaya that's the initial measurement. I-determine mo daw yung fair value niya minus transaction cost. Except, okay ha, yung financial liability ay classified as financial liability at fair value through profit or loss, in which yung transaction cost ay expense immediately. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Kapag yung financial liability hindi sinabing at FBPL or at FBTPL, ang computation mo ng initial measurement, fair value minus transaction cost. Okay, tanong, sir, ano po ba yung mga transaction cost na yan? Okay, naandito sa baba, pabasahin natin. Ang mga transaction cost daw ay alin? Number 1, fees or commission paid to the agent sa ahente, sa advisor, broker or dealer sa financial institution, levies or by regulatory agencies and securities exchange, and transfer taxes and duties. So ito yung mga directly attributable costs, yung sinasabi nating DAX. Okay, baka kung anong isipin mong DAX yan, ha? Directly attributable cost dun sa financial liability. Kaya kung hindi sinabi sa problem, kung na hindi siya financial liability at fair value through profit or loss, hindi ganyan ang classification. Therefore, by default, fair value minus transaction cost. Pero kung sinabi na siya ay financial liability, tapos ang classification niya ay fair value through profit or loss, paano mo i-measure? Fair value lang. Okay? Kasi yung transaction cost, ano magiging treatment mo sa kanya? Hindi mo siya i-minus, expense siya. Okay? Ibig sabihin, debit expense talaga siya. Kaya expense immediately or expense outright. Ayan. Okay? Don't worry, ginawa naman natin to ng summary. Makikita natin mamaya kung paano mo na-measure. Okay. Subsequent measurement, ibig sabihin, after the initial measurement, the next measurement, paano na? Okay. Amortized cost. Okay. Except siya ay financial liabilities that are classified as held for trading or siya ay designated. Okay. Ibig sabihin, sa madaling salita, sinabi lang na siya ay financial liabilities, again, classified at FBPL. Kaya kung mapapansin mo dito sa una, di ba? FBTPL or FBPL, tapos dalawa, designated tsaka held for trading. So ibig sabihin, kung siya ay kung siya ay financial liabilities at fair value, either designated or held for trading, ang subsequent measurement niya ay ano? Fair value pa din. Okay, fair value pa din. Other than that, okay, the rest amortized cost. Yan. Kaya other than that, amortized cost. Kung kaya kung mapapansin mo, itong number 1, ang initial at subsequent measurement niya, fair value. Okay? Si number 2, number 3, number 4, ang initial measurement niya, fair value minus transaction cost. Subsequent measurement, ano daw? Amortized cost. Yan. So, tandaan mo na lang itong number 1 na hindi siya nababago, FBPL or FBTPL. Then the rest, amortized cost ang subsequent measurement. Okay? So, clear tayo dun pag financial liabilities. Okay. How to measure naman non-financial liability? Kasi kanina pinag-usapan natin financial. Okay. Sabi dito, non-financial liabilities are initially measured, okay, at best estimate of the amounts needed to settle those obligations. Sir, bakit po sinabing best estimate? Halimbawa, di ba? Ano ba yung example ng mga non-financial liability? Di ba yung mga warranty obligation, yung mga premium, yung hindi natin alam kung magkano yung exact na talagang magagastos kapag halimbawa, ina-avail na nila yung warranty. Kaya sinabi, best estimate. Yan. Pero kung yan naman ay mga non-financial liabilities na mga unearned rent na alam mo naman kung magkano talaga yung iba ibinayad, 'di ba? Parang ganoon. Kumbaga at face amount ang mangyayari. Pero dito sinabi talaga initial measurement, best estimate or the measurement basis required by other applicable standard. Kung merong piniprescribe. Okay? Katulad nito, number 1, obligations arising from statutory requirements, katulad ng income tax payable, di ba? Pag meron namang net income, and then meron tayong taxable income, na-determine naman natin kung magkano yung income tax na babayaran. So, at face amount or best estimate. Unearned or deferred revenue, yung warranty obligation, di ba? And then commodity contracts that either or cannot be settled in cash, o di ba? Katulad ng gold, halimbawa, gold ang settlement, gold ang ibabayad, nagbabago-bago ang value ng gold. So, best estimate pa rin. Yan. Hindi katulad ng financial liability, okay, fair value. Okay? So, ganun na. Tatandaan mo, pag non-financial liability. So, ginawa natin ng measurement summary, yung financial at saka non-financial. Okay, tingnan natin. Financial liability, sabi natin, either fair value or fair value minus transaction cost. Yung initial measurement. Ha? Okay. Kailan kapag fair value? Kapag siya ay fair value or kapag siya ay financial liability at FBTPL. Either designated or held for trading. Other than that, lahat ng financial liability, fair value minus transaction cost. Okay. Kasunod, subsequent measurement, again, kapag financial liability at FBTPL, fair value pa rin. And then yung iba, or other than that, na fair value ang classification, amortized cost. Okay? And then non-financial liabilities, ang initial at saka subsequent pareho lang. Best estimate or amounts needed to settle the obligation. Anong ibig sabihin ng amounts needed to settle the obligation? Kung magkano talaga yung babayaran, kung magkano talaga yung face amount, kung magkano talaga ang na-compute halimbawa na income tax payable or SSS or PhilHealth contribution payable, yun talaga ang measurement niya. So sinasabi lang niya at face amount. Okay? Or kung may pinaprescribe ang specific PFRS, yun daw yung susundin. So sa problem solving, sasabihin naman yan. Okay? Kung merong prescribed PFRS, specific PFRS. Pero pag walang sinabi, best estimate or face amount. Okay? So tapos na tayo sa measurement. Let's go to the distinction between current liabilities and non-current liabilities. Alam mo, ang madali dito, ang sinasabi lang ng standard, okay, kapag daw hindi ka nag-qualify sa definition ng current liabilities, therefore, ikaw ay non-current liabilities. Residual definition. Residual, di ba? Natira. So, ibig sabihin, kung hindi ka nga nag-fit sa definition ng current, therefore, ikaw ay non-current. Ay ano ba yung current, sir? Number 1, it expects to settle the liability in its normal operating cycle. Di ba, pag sinabi nating operating cycle, kung ikaw ay manufacturing, from the moment na ikaw ay kumuha ng raw materials, pinrocess mo para maging work in process or good in process, pinrocess mo para maging finished goods, nabenta mo, di ba? Tapos hanggang sa makakolekta ka ng napagbentahan, kung yan man ay on account, okay, that's the normal operating cycle. So, ibig sabihin, pwede siyang longer than 1 year or pwede naman daw siyang less than a year. Ngayon, kahit na longer than 1 year ang operating cycle mo, as long as siya ay payable, payable on the normal operating cycle, okay, currently, so current liabilities ang classification sa kanya. Okay? Pwede kasing halimbawa, ang normal operating cycle, 5 years. Pero, meron ka namang mga obligation na to settle within a year. So, kahit na ang normal operating cycle mo ay mahaba, but ang settlement ay 1 year or less, okay, pwedeng may portion na current, and then the rest of the portion pwedeng non-current. Ganon. Okay? And then, it holds the liability primarily for the purpose of trading or being traded. So, kapag nakita mo yung word na tinitrade siya, okay, automatic current yun. Number 3, the liability is due to be settled within 12 months after the reporting period. Anong ibig sabihin ng after the reporting period? Halimbawa, di ba, calendar year, January 1, 2020 to December 31, 2020. Okay. As of December 31, 2020, meron kang mga liability. Ngayon, kapag yung liability na yun ay payable sa next accounting period, halimbawa ay January 1, 2021 to December 31, 2021, ibig sabihin, the following year, or less than a year, di ba? Either hanggang December 31, 2021 or less than that, basta to be settled within 12 months, current yan. Okay, kasi di ba nag-identify ka naman ng liabilities at the end of the reporting period. Ngayon, ang tanong lang dyan, ano ba to? Current or non-current? Ngayon, kung to be settled within a year or less at ng next accounting period, kaya nga after ang nakalagay, current yun. Okay? Ano pa? The entity does not have an unconditional right to defer settlement of the liability for at least 12 months after the reporting period. Sir, parang medyo malito to. Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Does not have an unconditional right. Ibig sabihin, meron siyang conditional right. Kasi does not have an unconditional. So, therefore, meron siyang conditional right. Right daw na nagbibigay ka ng condition. At ano yun? The entity has the conditional right to defer settlement of the liability for at least 12 months after the reporting period. So, kung meron ka daw, conditional right, kasi does not negative, unconditional right, negative. Therefore, the entity has conditional right to defer settlement, current liability yan. And then, residual definition, all other liabilities na hindi nag-fit sa definition, non-current. Okay? So, malinaw yan, ha? Yan. To be settled, expected to be settled with the normal operating cycle, trading within 12 months or less after the reporting period, okay, and does not have an unconditional right to defer settlement. Yan. So let's now go to trade and non-trade payables. Ano ba itong mga trade and non-trade payables? Trade payables, ibig sabihin, payables na related doon sa normal operating ng business mo. Diba? Kung ikaw ay bumibili ng paninda at inuutang mo yan, that's trade payable. O anything that is in the ordinary course of business. So sabi dito, are obligations arising from purchases of inventory that are to be sold in the ordinary course of business. Other payables are classified as non-trade. So kung halimbawa, bumili ka ng paninda, inutang mo, accounts payable, trade payable yun. Kung bumili ka ng paninda, tapos nag-issue ka ng promissory note na related dun sa operation ng business mo, trade payables yun. Anything na hindi mag-fit sa definition nun, ano daw? Non-trade payables. Yan. Ano pa? Trade payables are classified as current liabilities when they are expected to be settled within the normal operating cycle or 1 year, whichever is longer. Kaya whichever is longer, ha? Normal operating cycle, kasi pwedeng more than a year ang normal operating cycle ng business, or 1 year. Okay, and then, on the other hand, non-trade payables are classified as current liabilities only when they are expected to be settled within a year. So, ibig sabihin daw, pag trade payables ka, either yan ay within a year o normal operating cycle na pwedeng mas mahaba sa 1 year. Okay, trade payables. Pwede naman kasi ganun yung operation talaga ng business mo, more than a year talaga siya Okay? Ngayon, kung yan ay non-trade payables, dapat within a year para ma-classify mo as current. Yan. Okay? General rule. Sabi dito, di ba? From the book of presentation of Sir Milan. Currently maturing obligation or an obligation that is payable on demand is presented as current. Okay? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng payable on demand? Anytime pwede kang singilin. Normally nangyayari ito kapag halimbawa, pumasok kayo sa isang kontrata, tapos nagkaroon ng breach of contract. Anong ibig sabihin ng breach of contract? May hindi ka sinunod na mga terms doon sa napag-usapan sa kontrata. Ngayon, nakalagay doon, pag ganun, pwede kang maging payable on demand. Sisingilin ka talaga, di ba? Kaya nga payable on demand. Pag siningil kita ko, akin na yung bayad mo, nagde-demand ka, di ba? Classified daw as current. Okay, that's the general rule. Except. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng except? May exception. Okay? The following result to non-current classification. Kapag daw number 1, refinancing is completed on or before the balance sheet date. Okay. Ang ibig sabihin kasi nito, currently maturing obligation or obligation that is payable on demand, tapos nagkaroon ng refinancing. Ibig sabihin, pinayagan ka na bumalik, mag-set ulit ng panibagong maturity period. Okay, refinancing. Okay, kapag daw na-complete yun on or before the balance sheet date, non-current daw ang classification. Okay, on or before, hindi on or after. Number 2, refinancing agreement takes place after the balance sheet date but before the financial statements are authorized for issue and the entity has the discretion to roll over the liability on a long-term basis. Ulitin natin to. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Okay. Di ba, ibig sabihin ng refinancing agreement, nagseset ulit ng panibagong maturity period. Nire-refinance. Ibig sabihin, may mga nababago sa terms. Okay. Kapag daw siya, halimbawa, January 1, 2020 to December 31, 2020. So, December 31, 2020 yung balance sheet date. Okay. Nangyari daw yun after December 31, 2020, pero hindi mo pa na-i-issue yung financial statements. Hindi pa na-approve ng Board of Directors at saka ng mga shareholders yung FS for issuance. Okay. Before the issuance daw, authorized, and the entity, ito muna, but before the financial statements are authorized for issue. Okay, hindi pa na-i-issue. Yan. And the entity has the discretion to roll over the liability on a long-term basis. May discretion daw ikaw. Okay, may choice ka daw, in short, na i-roll over pa. Paano pa pag i-roll over? Ituloy. O sige, roll over lang, tuloy-tuloy lang. Okay, on a long-term basis. Obviously naman, sinabi, long-term basis. Kaya, kapag ganun daw, it will result to non-current classification. Okay? Kasi may discretion daw yung company to roll over on a long-term basis. Or, ano daw, the grace period to rectify the breach of agreement is received on or before the balance sheet date. Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng grace period? Binibigyan ka ng palugit para makapagbayad pa. Kasi normally nga, nagkaroon ng breach of contract, hindi ka sumunod sa agreement or dahil hindi ka nakabayad sa specific period of time. Pero, binigyan ka ng grace period para daw i-rectify, okay, o i-correct yung hindi mo pagsunod dun sa agreement, kaya breach of agreement. Tapos na-receive mo daw yung grace period on or before the balance sheet date. Meaning, on or before December 31, 2020, kung yan ay calendar period. Kapag ganun daw na nagbigay ng grace period, parang ine-extend non-current daw ang classification. Okay, so general rule kapag currently maturing obligation, magmamature na, sisingilin na, or the obligation is naging payable on demand because of there is a breach of contract, current. Except kapag may refinancing on or before the balance sheet date, may discretion to roll over the liability on a long-term basis, and binigyan ka ng grace period to rectify the breach of agreement on or before the balance sheet date. So babantayan mo to yung on or before kasi baka mamaya after the balance sheet date. Okay, so huwag kalimutan yan Nota bene natin yan. Very important. Okay, so last na tong part na to, dividends payable. Ano ba tong dividends payable na to? Dividends payable, ito yung liability mo sa mga shareholders sa mga company. Itong mga shareholders sa mga company ay mga investor na bumili sa corporation ng shares of stock para maging investor. Of course, kaya yan nag-invest, dalawa yan. Okay, ang reason niya kung bakit siya nag-invest sa corporation mo or sa corporation halimbawa, ikaw si corporation. Okay. Number 1, nag-expect yan na makareceive ng dividendo or dividends. Ang ibig sabihin ng dividends, share niya sa income ng company. Siyempre, kumita ang kumpanya, dapat may share siya. So, binabayaran siya per share basis, generally. Okay. Number 2, dahil gusto niyang tumaas ang value ng stocks niya. Bumili siya ng piso ngayon per share, pagdating ng panahon, 10 piso na siya, so may 9 pesos difference, may income siya doon. So, ganun yung purpose kung bakit nag-i-invest yung mga shareholders sa isang corporation. Ba't sila bumibili ng stocks? Bakit sila nagiging part owner of the corporation? Ngayon, syempre si corporation may liability siya sa mga shareholders or sa mga stockholders or shareholders. At ang tawag doon, dividends payable. Ngayon, ang dividends payable pwedeng in the form of cash or pwedeng in the form of other than cash. Halimbawa, property dividend ng ibabayad. 'Di ba? Ayun. Under IFRIC 17, the liability to pay dividend is recognized. O, tanong, sir, kailan po ba nire-recognize ang dividends payable? Yan. Recognized when the dividends is appropriately authorized, ibig sabihin approved by the board of directors, and is no longer at the discretion of the entity. Di ba? Wala na daw sa choice ng entity. Appropriately authorized. Pag sinabi mong appropriately authorized, authorized by the board of directors. Makikita mo yan sa minutes of the meeting na ino-authorize na magdeklara ng dividendo. Okay. Ngayon, number 1, the date when the declaration of the dividend, example, by management or the board of directors, is approved by the relevant authority if the jurisdiction requires such approval. So at the date of the declaration, that is the time na magre-recognize ka na ng dividends payable or dividend liability. Kasi inapprove na ng board of directors at that date. Yan. Okay. And then, the date when the dividend is declared, if the jurisdiction does not require further approval. So sinasabi lang niya rito, okay, yung sa number 2, kapag ang kailangan lang mag-approve by board of directors at the jurisdiction does not require further approval daw, di ba? O ay di i-recognize mo na yung liability. Ngayon, kung siya naman ay in-approve ng board of directors or management, and then kailangan may approval pa ng relevant authority, katulad ng halimbawa ng shareholders, okay, nakalagay naman yun sa bylaws eh. Anyway, at this point in time, by the mere fact na in-approve siya for declaration, yun na yung time na magre-recognize ka ng liability or dividends payable. So, yun lang ang part 2 ng ating discussion regarding the general discussion of the liabilities and the current liabilities. So, sa mga susunod nating video, specific current liabilities ang pag-uusapan natin, katulad ng warranty obligation, provisions, yung mga ganyan, mga deferred revenues, etc. And then yung mga kasunod na videos naman are about long-term liabilities. So, I hope marami kayong natutunan sa video na to, and i-upload natin to sa YouTube channel natin. So, please subscribe and then hit the bell button na rin para updated kayo sa mga discussions natin. So, thank you very much and have a good day.